goes.
You know, I knew this episode was gonna be a banger, as I knew they couldn't have
Bro,
an
we
episode
can't hear you.
this dumb and to not have it be the most emotionally destructive one so far. And I am so happy.
Okay,
to
wait, my bad.
correct.
Before I start this, spoiler alert. There's gonna be spoilers in here. So go watch the original video first, and then come back and watch this. It's going to be spoilers. I'm letting you know now. You have been warned.
As yeah, Jax is crashing out. Everyone else.
What do you
has
think
their
of Jax?
personal
Jax is,
opinions.
bro.
Well,
Hold
this
on.
rabbit is
This right here, this guy right here. Yeah. He's peak, bro. He's literally carrying the show. He's literally carrying the show, bro. Honestly, this by far is my favorite character so far. But yeah, Jax is fucking awesome, bro.
violently denying his own humanity, as he would rather be miserable than take the chance that someone might fill the void left by his friend. This, honestly, might be my favorite episode of The Amazing Digital Circus so far.
It's probably...
It has so much going on.
It's probably
and I need to
everybody's.
talk about all of it. Like, straight up, everyone has a banger moment in this episode. We saw people reflect on who they are and what they might be, which is perfect since the rabbit is so determined to not look...
Hey, also, this show is not for kids, bro. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. Like, this show is not for kids, bro. I'm putting this show up there with South Park. I am. Like, there's so much lore, so much jokes, so many things that go over people's heads. It's crazy. But it's there. It's there.
Back, he can't see himself hurling towards becoming a past tense. Oh yeah, we're getting into it.
Poor Rabbit had a crash on the video. He sure did, bro. It was valid, though.
We could all just shoot each other. This episode opens up with one of the more recent developments. Pomni and Jax's friendship.
I wonder how long
is... kind of have a vibe going on.
Has Jax been in there longer than not longer than King. King's been in there for the longest, but I wonder if he's been there longer than all the rest of them.
Pomni is like far from the scared newcomer she was when she was introduced. She was just going through denial, depression, and adjusting to the fact that she is now trapped in I Spy meets I Have No Mouth and Must Scream. She was going through it, but now that she's relaxed, accepted that this is her life now, despite how much Kane has made that as hard for her as possible.
Hey, I wonder if that's a form of Stockholm. You see what I mean? I wonder if that's a form of Stockholm. Look at her eyes, bro. She's clearly not okay in the head, bro. Clearly not okay if she's just accepting the fact that she's stuck in this world at this point. Well, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But that to me, that's kind of like a Stockholm type of, I don't know. It's crazy. This whole show is crazy.
Pomni is finally out of panic mode, hence it's only been fairly recently that we've seen her chill out and be able to express more of who she is than just the fail girl YouTuber. She kind of settled in episode 3 thanks to her talk with Kinger, the goat.
Kinger is also peak character.
Since
He's
then,
a peak character for sure.
Settled into the digital circus that yes, this is her life now, so she's got to figure out a way to adapt, and most importantly, how and who does she want to spend her time with, right?
I feel like this is how this is gonna end, y'all. And this is just a theory, not a game theory. Don't sue me, please. I think she's gonna have the choice at the end of the episode, because there's only 3 more episodes left. All right, I'll let y'all know now. Don't ask me how I know that. I just know. But yeah, I think that she's gonna have a choice at the end, whether she stays in the digital circus or she goes back to the real world. I'm calling it. Y'all heard it here first. I'm calling it. If it happens, it happens.
My God, Radka has been trying. But Pomni is more than just a wayward child in need of love and support. As
the comedy mask is broken.
She can also be a little bit of a menace. Hence why her vibe with Jax kind of makes a lot of sense. He's a freak in a way that none of the other members of the circus are. Gangle is pretty much always going through it, mainly because of Jax. Zubul is apathetic and depressed. Kinger as well. He's a king.
I think Zubul might actually be my least favorite. She might be my least favorite. Only because, bro, I feel like she doesn't have enough screen time, bro. Like, I feel like I can't really connect with that character for real.
Which, unfortunately, leaves Jax to be the only one that you could really say Pomni could have a good time.
And Pomni kind of like right there too with her.
Jokes, but in small
be honest
doses,
with you, she the main character. That's the crazy part.
But as Pomni discovers this episode, just because someone can be fun, it doesn't mean they're not a fucking maladjusted tool.
What's the comedy mask? You got to see the show, bro.
You must be misremembering.
Pomni has had a great track record with all the other members of the digital circus. She sat down with an AI cowboy, a crazy person, and even made it through a clown's funeral.
Yeah, she's losing her
All these
damn
characters
mind.
ended up opening up to her. She learns more about them and who they are besides, like, their first appearance. So Pomni can be forgiven for thinking that the same might happen with Jax. As yeah, he's a dick, but there might be more to him.
But I mean, I understand why he's a dick after this episode. I do.
Funny, you quickly realize that the only person laughing is
I get it.
as his style of humor is just being a bully.
And y'all notice something too. Hold on. Start noticing with his eyes. I had to literally go back and watch the other episodes. But whenever his eyes get like smaller and smaller, right? I feel like that's when he like shows like raw emotion, which is crazy.
Style of humor
Because they're
is just
mostly
being a
always
bully.
big.
Ladies first. No, wait, what
It's actually scary, bro.
We start the episode with him being a dick to Zubul, dragging Kane there to find them, even though they do not want to deal with this. With Pomni just conspicuously standing there and not really saying shit about it. This is something that is really made clear when we get to Gangle's therapy session, where she talks about
Pomni
how,
looks like Harley Quinn. Yeah.
this is just abuse.
She looks like Harley
She
Quinn's,
feels like Jax's toy, and even
classic.
when he's gone, she's afraid of what he might do to her. And with good reason, as the entirety of Jax and her interaction, so
What kind of actor is she similar? Yeah, she's pretty similar.
hurting her for his own amusement. He's always done this, and this is nothing new. It is constant, there's never been a moment of actual kindness, so while you can kind of admire how Jax can be a little fun, a rapscallion if you will, but then like, immediately, even in episode 1, it's clear that he is a terrible person. With everyone in the circus knowing this, and low-key letting the situation happen and spiral out of control where it pertains to Gangle. Yes, we've seen in recent episodes that
Was that a
Zubul
waffle
and Agatha are
gun?
stepping in to protect her from him, but that's recent. And Pomni has seen what he's like, and that puts her in this position of just rolling with Jax's
Also, watch the show,
crazy
talking
and
about for a second.
harassment.
Oh, no, you're
And
good,
then
bro.
What she saw before was a deal breaker, that him throwing her between the trucks, how he terrorizes everyone else of the circus. She
I'm about to
saw
say, at this
all
point,
that, and so,
everybody's
no,
pretty much seen
I
this
didn't
show.
know him. There might be
The
something
whole
more
world has
like
seen
buried
it.
beneath all that, and going along with him and all of his crazy, even though he is clearly
Look at that, y'all
a
seen?
very toxic person. There's
Y'all
some validity
peeked?
to what he's saying about treating this as crazy.
Look
even
at my
though
man's eyes, bro. Y'all peeked? He's pissed off. Raw emotion.
is clearly a very toxic person. There is some validity to what he's saying about treating this as a video game. Pomni decides to buy into this, becoming
I mean, it
a little
damn
bit
near is.
evil,
It's a
but
digital
she ends up
circus.
missing the itty-bitty nuance that even if what he's saying is partly true, the morality of the old world is kind of dead in
Remember
here. We
Glint
gotta
Queen?
survive however we can. But even if it's
that?
fun and allows them to go a little bit crazy and enjoy just shooting each other in the face, the way of going about things
And I knew he was
is
gonna shoot her.
games, as
I
not
knew it.
everyone is on the same fucking page.
I blame you for this.
Down.
Jax may find it fun, but most everyone else hates him. And this is what was going through my mind at the start of the episode. As to me, I was kind of waiting to see if there's a moment where Jax crosses the line that was too much for Pomni to bear, and to realize that this is not fun anymore. This rabbit is just a dick. Which we do kind of get, but I just didn't imagine the person catching those strays would be Pomni.
I don't
Also,
think
what
he's
that
just a
behavior
dick,
would
though.
say about Jax and where he's at.
Wait, what am I
And I feel like most people feel that way after watching this episode.
But to get back to the actual events of the story, Kane
Oh, you said
is fucking
gloinks.
Zubul, and if I were to take a guess on
Oh, I
why
read
he's
that
focusing
entirely
so
wrong.
much on them, I think it's because he is extremely close to
Wasn't that like episode 1 or 2?
Comparison right here, but I honestly feel like that.
I don't remember.
Ragatha and Jax have a long comment how they are trying to deal with being in the digital circus. I think Ragatha shares the most similarities with Kane, as the both of them are people pleasers.
I don't know about that
It feels
one.
like they are obsessed with making sure everyone is having a good time and everyone else is okay, all while being desperate for the validation of others. The key difference though is that while Ragatha
But then again,
is a
like,
little
it
bit
don't-
stressed out and just
I don't know. And I should be playing. Hold on. I should be playing it. They gonna mess around and try to. But yeah, I don't know about that comparison, bro. I don't know about that.
trying to make things work, she's capable of taking a breath and realizing that she needs to take care of herself. Meanwhile, Kane, for my money, I don't fully believe that Kane understands human emotions. He is a machine that I think is programmed to entertain the people of the circus. He's sentient, but that underlying directive is what guides all of his actions.
Maybe-
So for him making sure everyone is happy is his main goal, but it's directly
I wanna
tied to
know
the
who
need to
King
do his
actually
job,
is,
which
bro.
for him correlates to being liked. Kane desperately wants to be
I don't know.
a
I wanna know
boy.
who's
He wants people to
actually-
be happy, yes,
who
but he
he
wants them to
actually
be
is.
happy because of what he's doing. If he were to step back and just let them do what they want, give them free reign to do like any world, just all the shenanigans, none of his directives or quests, maybe just introduce them when he wants, but he can't let that happen. He wants to be the direct cause of their joy. This leads him to just over-insert himself into everything, the games, the lore,
But then
obsessing over
again-
people who just made clear that they don't really want him.
Then that would mean that they
Yeah,
just
but-
NPCs, bro. That would mean that they're just NPCs. Which still, that doesn't make sense because the circus already has NPCs. But what if I don't know. I don't know. What if people that start losing themselves become NPCs, and then the people that lose their minds just become the little black thing majiggers, abstractions.
Scene when he sees that no one voted for him, he starts to freak out, just like he did in his therapy session, as Kane wants to be liked, as that's a sign to his AI that he is doing a good job. But unfortunately, he's not a therapist. He was not designed to take care of fully functioning humans for this long. He probably wasn't even designed to be running for such extended periods of time, leading to a buildup of stress that he's clearly not dealing with. In fact, it looks like he's trying to erase memories to return back to like normalcy. And I feel like this is the true irony of his character, that for someone who wants to be so involved in the lives of the players, he doesn't actually allow himself to be their friend. He always puts himself as the overseer, the game master, this game show host and god, giving them half-baked quests and throwing a tantrum when they don't fully buy into like what he's selling. If you're intending to get to know them, to approach them on their level instead of lording over them the entire time, I feel like they could all create a much healthier environment than what they're living through right now. But he's not. Kane is incapable or unwilling to actually connect with them on a personal level, leaving him to flounder with how to satisfy them and his programming, which creates a very dangerous scenario. As while everyone else in the circus is
he the programmer, like,
and doing stuff together, no one has extended that same helping hand to Kane, who, if he were to crash out and abstract, it would just mean the destruction of the entire digital circus and the demise of everyone inside it. This is not good. We should probably be all worried about him.
Can he abstract?
Is also incredibly funny to me. Here, have guns. I don't care anymore. Also, completely unprompted theory, but this episode has me really wondering about the nature of abstraction, as we don't really know what it means. Jax mentions that when people abstract, there are clear signs that they're just in such a state beforehand, as, yeah, they're getting really close to their breaking points.
I think he was close, though.
What is the actual mechanical means by which this occurs? Is it really just them mentally breaking down so their form breaks down as well? Or is there something else here? As, just to throw out this theory, that for a game that is a massive shit show, it does have some guardrails to it. It does allow players to actually meaningfully hurt one another. The censor bars are also there.
Bro, I hope he shows the thing where they both pointed the gun at old girl, because that jump was hilarious.
Their psychotic breaks, resulting in their avatar breaking down, becoming a corrupted blob that corrupts everything they touch.
I hope he shows it.
Given how obsessed Kane is with keeping people happy, maybe abstraction isn't just like a crash out. Maybe it's a broken part of the game. Think about it. If someone was in the game and facing some serious mental health issues, with the game detecting it, then it wouldn't be too crazy of a feature for a game developer to put in, where the player in distress is automatically ejected from the game. They're having an episode and need serious help.
Also, bro, the king lets on more than he believes, bro. Because every time he like does anything,
leaving the transfer incomplete, that could corrupt the original.
It's like magic.
Resulting in the abstraction. This might be completely crazy talk, but it's fun to theorycraft about exactly.
Like, y'all remember when he was like the butterfly? He just made it up, and then he started glowing in the whatchamacallit. I don't know. It's crazy. Crazy.
I've actually seen someone abstract before, so
he's way smarter than what he lets on to believe. He knows way more. Okay. I know he does.
Let's get to the part where everyone gets guns. Tactical roll. Come on, Ragatha. Yeah, Kane just gave up and gave the kids guns. If everyone was on board, and this didn't hurt as much as I think it does, I think this would be. And
which is hilarious, by the way.
It's basically high stakes paintball, or I naturally have to bring up the fact that Zool brought up wanting to bang.
That just reminded me of
They'll give them their extra hands, maybe just themselves. This possibility nearly breaks Kane's brain, as his desire to please hit what I can only assume is the PG restrictions. So he compromises by ignoring it, which, as you discover, is Jax's whole deal. But the teams are formed. Jax is separated from his victim.
But yeah, this reminds me of
who throughout the last couple episodes has really become her closest friend, which leaves Jax in a bit of a tough spot. As how can he be a funny man if he's not punching down? I mean,
kind of like GTA. I'm going to use GTA as a comparison. But like GTA 4.
And Pomni's, delusion that Jax would open up in a actually meaningful way.
And literally just like having a free-for-all.
To Ragatha to be your partner. The two haven't gotten a true one-on-one just hangout. Besides that time Pomni told Ragatha that's okay to vent. And while this might be her dream scenario, Ragatha ends up pushing Pomni away, which given the situation, I actually don't find that surprising. See, I think I used the wrong term in my previous video, but Ragatha is a people pleaser. Her default response to difficult situations is to be nice, fond of her others, and make sure all of their emotional needs are met while she is rotting on the inside. This coping mechanism was probably developed because of her mother, who was described as controlling, and never made her feel safe, hence the obsession of making sure everything is okay and stable around her, only feeling comfortable when everything was normal. But
hey,
then it's like...
Shout out to my man, because he's been on point with just about majority of this stuff, bro. Hey, W video off rip. Because, yeah, bro. Most videos would not have explained it the way that he's explaining it right now, and he's damn near doing a deep dive on every last one of these characters. Shout out to this, yeah, shout out to old boy.
Peace and more of a moment of quiet rather than
what's your name? Hold on.
Ragatha
Sarcastic Chorus. Shout out to that boy, bro.
Knows that she and Jax just will not get along. They have so much history with one another that she apparently tried to help him, similar to what she's been doing with Pomni. But ever since the death of his friend, he has become a freak, becoming her polar, not moral opposite, but coping mechanism opposite. He treats his world like a game while she is trying to treat people like people, trying to instill a bit of normalcy to the world around her. She said before, but Ragatha hates Jax, but she doesn't want him to hate her, making this offer from Pomni a pleaser's dilemma, as she knows Jax, and she knows that this will not go well, and she's too worried about what happened to Kinger if he was left with Jax, and so, with all that in mind, she denies...
Hey, he paired up with Jax. I don't know what would happen. What would happen? Because I don't think they've ever paired up. But I don't know. I would like to see a Jackson Kinger episode, bro.
Pomni, even though she desperately wants to spend more time with her, as the worry and concern for others leads Ragatha to deny her own wants and needs, devolving to assurances
I would
that she
definitely
can
like to
be
see it.
Pomni. When she doesn't want to be Pomni's caretaker, she wants to be her friend, which to cover Ragatha's whole arc, I love it. Everyone who was saying she was too toxic or too mean in the last episode, please take a breath and kindly get off of Jax's dick. Ragatha from the onset
Crazy.
to be the closest to abstract.
Crazy.
She's paranoid about Pomni and Jax's relationship, fears losing Pomni, and is overall incredibly stressed about her position in the circus. She craves companionship, but the main way she tries to be a friend is by acting like the teen mom, when these be grown-ass adults. They don't need her to hype them up, but this fear of being alone is understandable. Zubul and Gangle are just forming a clique, Funny Buddy seems to be doing its things, leaving Ragatha to feel like the odd one out, that she is failing at her self-assigned purpose and therefore has no value. Like Kane. In fact, her already rampant self-hatred, dwelling on the seemingly unfairness of her starting the game with one less life, speaking again to how she was probably treated unfairly as a kid, that she wants clear rules and standards, but life never gave them to her. Hence her obsession with treating everyone well and trying to create a sense of fairness, which I hear is very common to people who have chaotic upbringings.
So let me get this straight, because I don't even remember that part of the video or any of these episodes. Yeah, so that's crazy. He's also pointing this at this. These visuals are so crazy on this show, bro. They damn near thought of everything, bro. I swear. But yeah, bro, that's an interesting backstory that I never got. I don't remember that.
Assuming the absolute worst about a certain agent of chaos. Ragatha be believing that Jax has some evil master plan to corrupt Pomni, to turn her into a little version of him, when that doesn't seem to be the full case. Yes, he's a terrible influence, not just in his whole, like, you should treat everyone like it's a video game, like we're cartoon characters, but how he gets those flashes of anger whenever Pomni just wasn't committing to the bit enough. I think Ragatha
see the eyes again, bro?
Triggered him, no pun intended, as he talks out later how everyone, aka, he blames himself for what happened to his friend Ribbit, so he does what he always does and takes his rage out on those around him, gunning down Ragatha with extreme prejudice, leading to her being just trapped in the loser's corner, where we get one of the best scenes in the series, because motherfucking Kinger.
There are always ways to show you care without ruining yourself over it. You need to look out for yourself in all this too.
Kinger's the GOAT, and every time he's in the dark, he becomes just the best character, even though he's the funniest when he's crazy. He speaks to Ragatha, just saying, hey, you're okay.
I think the darkness literally brings his brain, like, back. I don't know. Because when he's sitting in light, bro, like, he has, like, the dumbest everything. But anytime he's in the dark, it's like he's his true self. I don't know. I don't know if that's symbolic or what. And he's also a white chess piece, so that's interesting to know too.
Her view of relationship on being helpful is a detriment to her own well-being. That not every friendship needs to be one where they are hanging out all the time.
This shit has layers upon layers.
She doesn't have to be useful and do things for others to be worthy of love. Ragatha isn't a bad person, friend, or any other word that was used to describe her. She's trying, and Kinger reminds her to give herself a break. That the others aren't her responsibility, and it's not healthy for her to be doing all of
and that's true too.
Relationships.
Why should everybody else be your responsibility? It don't make sense. Make it make sense.
I think it's so sad how Ragatha refers to how she tries to care for others and helping them as tricks, that she doesn't see herself as worthy of love, hence the language around trickery. She seems to struggle to think that the affection others have for her is genuine and unconditional. Ragatha is doing too much for others when she needs to take a breath and love herself, which is a lesson that pretty much everyone at the circus needs to hear, and it's one that a lot of the characters are accepting, with one massive exception.
If I let you on, it was just to make this part hurt you more.
This is a fantastic
and that was no, that was a fucked up scene, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. But he was definitely lying to himself and her.
Kinger, when
100%.
Always drops bangers.
I think everybody realized that too when that was over.
I don't really know that much about him. So him saying like, yeah, there are things I blame myself for and how that's just...
Bro, I never noticed how crooked this shit was. Damn. Like, this side is like going this way and then this one is like centered. This shit is a fucked up image, bro. Like, how did your eyes do this? Wow, this one is looking down, this one is looking like straight at me. That's a crazy design. Damn.
That's just perfectly ambiguous enough to where we don't know if he's talking about Queenie, or if he might blame himself for creating the circus. As Kinger is a king, this could be his kingdom, and it's very suspicious that he just pulls a healing butterfly out of nowhere that Kane definitely did not create. This is some Neo in the Matrix type BS where he is definitely altering the code around.
That's what I'm saying.
He's simply gone so crazy, and everyone's form really is tied to their mental state, that his lack of sanity is just allowing him to manifest things into the game.
Literally.
It's very sweet as you imagine he's literally giving a part of himself to heal Ragatha. But their little talk, perfect. This has been a long time coming for Ragatha, and I fully have gone from worrying about her mental state to just knowing she's gonna be okay.
So lovable. Like, bro, I told you, Kinger, top tier character. Okay, so look, here's my tier list for these characters. There's Jax. Hold on, get her.
About him when he's not even here. You're a human. You're not.
Jax, number 1. Kinger, definitely number 2. I want to say Kane, number 3. And then I'm gonna go with the main character. This guy, and then I'm gonna go her. Oh, and Bubble is like right above Kane. He's right above it. You can't forget Bubble.
Nice toy.
Game has had such a fantastic series of episodes. When the series started, she was Jax's victim. They were playing for comedy, even though when you took 2 seconds to look at what was actually happening, you immediately was like, oh yeah, he's a dick. But then she got her own episode, she found a friend in Zooble, with it being here that we see her fully stand up to Jax when she's not having an episode, saying, no, I'm not going to hang out with you, instead I'm going with a Zooble, with her going even so far as to trust Zooble with the happy mask. Why to say it for a special occasion, which would be firing a Tommy gun, and I love that. But the emotional
Yeah, that was a fire scene. That Tommy gun scene, that was a fire scene. They had me off that one. And that's the only reason. Yeah.
Absolutely reckoning.
Yeah, that moved her up.
Doesn't make sense. It's
Just a little bit.
It's intentional.
Now, this might sound bad, but I mean this in the most positive way. I feel like a lot of this episode can be described as the
This show came out with the wildest design, bro. Yes, wild, wacky, and it's creative as hell, bro. It's creative as hell. Look how big his eyes is in this one. Look at this. Nothing. The crazy part about it is though, like everything that's on here is like by design, bro. Like nothing on here is a mistake at all. Like there's nah, bro. Everything was like perfectly put in line for certain things to play out. Number one, for certain characters to have lures, you just really have to pay attention. Like there's so much stuff in here that game theorists literally had to cover, bro. So much.
That this world is just like a video game that he can use for his own amusement, to Gangle being Jax's actual victim and all the negative mental damage that has come along with it. Gangle is terrified of Jax, and he has made it his life's mission to mess with them. And that has left Gangle terrified of the idea of him getting revenge for the smallest slight. But it's here that Zooble comes in so goddamn clutch, talking to Gangle about how she can't let her fear of him consume
I'm
her.
surprised she ain't trying to go for what's the name.
Sense of worthlessness.
Jax.
What makes her different doesn't make her less than anyone else. I love how the show managed to work into the various gimmicks of their avatars into different types of, well, metaphors for mental disorders. From Zooble's more obvious
when Gangle's comedy mask get broken.
Condition that probably isn't bipolar disorder. Everyone is struggling. Gangle's been the one that
I think it broke. What episode was that? I think it broke on the spooky episode when they went into that haunted house. I'm not 100% sure though, bro. I would literally have to go back and watch all the episodes, bro. But I think it was that episode.
has been just most visibly going through it, mainly due to a particular outside factor making everything worse. It seems like with Gangle, she struggles with being happy. It seems like she's always struggled with feeling good about herself, which is why this moment matters. But yeah, self-love isn't innate. Everyone has issues and struggles, which is why it is an active choice to try and love yourself. It helps her feel like she's okay, and she's not broken because of this, well, situation. Everyone goes through something like this.
Yeah, he can't wait to, or she can't wait to get that Tommy gun.
Something that's proven when Gangle chooses to wear her happy mask to fire bullets at Jax. And even after the mask is broken, she's still smiling underneath, as she's happy. And she chose to be. So, while a little bit taken aback by Gangle,
like I said, bro,
you ever had to make
they don't matter everything.
Love yourself, which hurts because Zubul has very much been struggling with their mental health and afraid that Gangle is going to reach out to them. I can see why this would hurt, as Zubul very much seems to have been keeping their issues close to their chests. They haven't really been talking to everyone about their depression and struggles with body dysmorphia, instead just locking themselves in their room and avoidance. But they've been slowly opening up, and they are crushing it with.
Hey, is King's room is it dark? I'm curious. I don't remember, bro. They pop off these episodes like every 8 months, bro. I literally cannot remember.
New bestie. I'm very curious to see where we go next with their character, as they seem to be in a very good place already, willing to use their interchangeable parts to max out their gun stat and fire at everyone. Showing that while Zubul has been struggling with their self-image,
yeah, not aiming and firing at somebody like that, crazy.
Joy and pride in it, which is better than dreading and being resentful of the condition. But let's be real, the true biggest line that dropped during this whole Gangle Zubul speech was the one
that ain't even dual wielding. That's like quadruple wielding.
Directly contrasted with Jax's advice, which is clearly failing him.
But the silver lining is you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Now, I cannot understand how much I hate Jax as a person, but I do love him as a character. Awful to be right, I just would have a restraining order so quick, but in being this much of a mess who's clearly struggling to maintain his sanity in a virtual world, ooh, I am loving all of this. Even though all of his issues right here have been telegraphed so heavily since episode 1. I mean, I think I clocked Jax's whole nihilism mechanic back in episode 2. NPCs have toys for his own amusement. And if you want a real red flag, he uses violence as a means of catharsis.
The Blinks episode,
so without consequences. He's basically an early
can't remember, bro.
Simon. He treats everything like a game, as that's the only way he can mentally survive. As if it's just a game, none of it matters, and he really needs none of it to matter, or else he'll crumble under the weight of everything he's done and all of the pain
but
he's feeling.
Kind of think that he needs that, bro, and that's why he's being a dick, though. That's the thing, though. Like, this by far...
I do believe there's some validity to
Gosh damn it.
Jax's mindset. Yeah, this isn't the regular...
That's why she asked him that question. If she abstracted, like, tomorrow, what would you do? And he basically said, I would move on, right? Because that, to me, that's just his way of coping through it, bro. Like, I think Jax might actually be the most broken character in this whole bunch, right? I don't know where the Rubik's Cube girl went, whose name I can never remember, bro. Ragatha. Not Ragatha. That's Ragatha. Gosh damn it. I can't remember her name right now. Zubul. I think that's what her name is. Zubul. But yeah. He's got to be the most broken character out of all of them, bro. Like, okay, King is crazy as fuck, right? We know that this guy's lost his fucking mind. He's gone, right? Until he gets inside of the dark, which then he becomes an absolute Chad genius, super mega god or something like that. I don't know, bro. And then there's our main character, right? Who's basically has Stockholm. You got damn, drawing a blank again. Fuck. Can't remember her name at all. Alright, we're just gonna call her Miles' girlfriend right now. I'm drawing a blank. It's just like two characters that I can never remember the names of. It's this one right here and then the little triangle chick. But and that's how you can tell that they're at the bottom, because I literally didn't like care enough to even remember their names, bro. That's the crazy part. But yeah. Then there's Jax, bro, who's just basically like smiling throughout the whole thing, bro. This is a cry for help, bro. This is literally a cry for help, honestly. And then there's Ragatha, who is basically trying to be nice to everybody and just pretty much losing her mind and losing her shit when it happens. All of them are trying to find a way to cope, but this guy just does it with a smile on his face, bro. Like, this is just the most wonderful place in the world, right? He needs help. He's suffering. Peak character, bro.
World. This is a video game. We do not have to play completely nice all the time. Running around and firing guns is a good way to cut loose and enjoy
like,
the
and
of being trapped
literally,
in
if
the
you
digital
go back
circus.
at all the episodes, you can literally see his eyes, and they literally just tell you every time, bro. They literally tell you every time.
Holds up and works if it's done in small doses and if everyone else is on board with it. Jax, in contrast,
of course, it takes and they don't. I'm pretty sure they don't have a big team
either. It
either.
doesn't really matter. It's not serious, bro. Even though he gets immediately heated the second the joke's on him, as it does matter, and he knows it. I truly think that there's something brilliant in how Jax tries to talk about his character, like, oh, I'm just an archetype. After a while, everything else fades away, and you're just this. You can basically hear him screaming, I am not a jerk with a heart of gold. I am just a jerk. Stop trying to be my friend. As having a friend would mean you have to acknowledge that this isn't just a game. He is not a cartoon character, and I think for him that is the scariest thing imaginable, as it would mean facing the fact that all of this is real and that he can't keep denying how he feels. As to quote the show,
sometimes it all just feels.
See what I mean?
Yeah. But it's not. Not if you have people who care about you.
This, I think, is one of the big overarching statements of the digital circus, and it is a lesson that Jax is adamantly refusing to learn. I believe he blames himself for Rivet's death. When Ragatha brings up he's corrupting Pomni, he goes cold, as this touches on a very sore spot, as his friend died, and I think he holds himself responsible for that. With there also being a potential double pain here.
That's what I mean.
A, he doesn't want to repeat history, and B, he doesn't want someone to get that close to him ever again. Jax is terrified of creating bonds. He wants to treat everything as a joke, because then he can pretend that none of this is serious, and he doesn't have to care. He really wants to be that asshole cartoon character.
It's literally his way of coping, bro.
And that's it. That there's nothing more to him when there clearly is, and it's all pain. If he's just a cartoon character, he can act however he wants, he can treat the gang however he wants, that it's really their problem for not getting with the program, when no, it's his actions that are the problem. He calls out Ragatha for being fake, yet here he is trying to say, no, I'm nothing, I'm just this archetype. Bro is
what the hell is that?
Person here, and he always clearly has been. But that's the beauty of it. When he's exasperating everyone else, it further isolates him, and makes it easier for him to have this devil-may-care attitude where no one likes him. Hence his massive crash out when Pomni tries to give him a hug, as at first he likes it, and then he realizes what's happening and proceeds to try and push Pomni away, who, to her credit, has been very much going along with all of Jax's things this entire episode. She's trying to embrace being evil Pomni, which was just the other version of herself in the last episode. She finds some joy in this, as yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. Go back
and the
to
potential
it.
of what Pomni might mean to him now. He's bummed out when he got another reminder of Rivet, and the potential of what Pomni might mean to him now.
Gosh damn it.
Evil Pomni, which was just the other version.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. And I believe this old screen, because why not? This is a crazy sight. But Rule 34 is probably gonna go crazy for this last episode. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just say it, bro. They're about to go nuts for this. Honestly, this right here, right, and this right here, and yeah, it's gonna go nuts. It is.
As yeah, being the villain, it can be fun from time to time. But once all the people are gone and she catches Jax's mask slipping, he's bummed out when he got another reminder of Ribbit and the potential of what Pomni might mean to him now. He recoils the second she tries to have an actual, like, real talk.
Jax lost his fraud friend. Yeah, bro, that's what I mean, bro. He's by far the most tormented character, right? Because he literally lost his mind and then went back to smiling. He's gonna snap. I think he might be the next one that abstracts, bro. I really do. He might lose his mind. There was another king. That's crazy. Look at this, yo. I didn't even notice this last time I watched it. Bro, we might have to fuck around and do a damn deep dive on this fucking entire everything. This is crazy. This is the next FNAF, bro. Look at this shit.
Did actually open up, but the second Pomni tries just a little bit to take things seriously, all of Jax's worst instincts come out, denying everything that they did today meant anything, demanding that Pomni shoot him, as, yeah, he'd rather be hurt than loved. Plus, you know, it would get him out of this whole conversation. And I cannot undersell how much Jax's voice actor, Michael Kovac, crushes it here.
You are my playthings, and I get joy out of making you suffer.
You feel every venomous barb, every ounce of pain in his voice as he tries to drive Pomni away and commit to this
literally
shtick.
Hey, W for that voice acting, bro.
He would forget her and move on if she were to abstract tomorrow, which is her greatest fear, the thing he knows will hurt her the most. I honestly thought that Pomni was going to turn that on herself right here, as, you know, F you to Jax. But instead, she throws hands.
Like that? Are you crazy?
Before that, we do see
Jax
fighting
is
the urge to console her, and instead just, he wants to be nice here. He wants to, like, he knows what he just said is wrong, but he can't let it out. He cannot let himself care, so he defaults to being a dick, saying that she can't take a joke, which given how Gangle's language is so reflective of, like, abusive relationships, like, romantically, friend-wise, I still say this is an abusive relationship, saying that it's just perfect. As yeah, he really is that guy. But while Pomni is beating his ass, he just doesn't fight back. He can't bring himself to hurt her, and I feel like he's also just shocked by Pomni reacting like this, as he is so used to people not caring about him, to just blow him off and to walk away, which would allow him to keep living in denial. When Pomni's bringing the heat, he's just trying to hold her back, and despite everything he just said and how he's been hunting down the rest of them like they were prey, he does care about Pomni. She means something to him, even if he wants to deny it with every fiber.
Man, he does.
And denial is a huge
I think he cares about every other character more than all the other characters. This is literally him abstracting, literally. About to abstract, bro. He's literally losing. Either that or he's losing his fucking mind, right? But yeah, he can't deny the fact that that's the truth, bro, right? And I guess moving on is just literally his way of coping, bro. Like I said, bro, this has got to be by far the most saddest character on this episode.
Jax's character, as he doesn't want to
not just in this episode, but just in the entire show in general, bro.
Acknowledge all of his trauma. He doesn't want to acknowledge all of his pain, and he doesn't want to acknowledge how
he's
feels
traumatized
lost up until this point. Which, with this idea in mind, I think it does really recontextualize an earlier scene that was played off as mostly a joke. As we did see Jax freak out about like his tail disappearing, even though we have never seen him with one. This is hilarious. It's weird. It's out of nowhere. But Jax did seem actually perturbed by this revelation. But given the recent context, I kind of have a new theory about what's going on.
And he's telling the truth, bro.
His tail is symbolic of just his refusal.
Every time you could tell that he lost his tail, though. Like I said, bro. Everything is by design. There's nothing here, nothing in this show, bro, is by accident. You can tell that his eye. Look at his eyes when he was talking about the tail, bro.
Just his refusal to look back. He wants to live in the moment, torturing the others, refusing to more acknowledge the past, even as he is haunted by it. Hence,
I think I didn't
have a
go
new
back
theory about what's
enough.
going on here. That Jax losing his tail is symbolic, as we did see Jax freak out about like his tail.
See what I mean? Look at his eyes.
Tail disappearing, even though we have.
He had a tail, bro.
This is hilarious. It's weird. It's out of nowhere. But
you see what I mean? He had a tail, bro.
Jax did seem actually perturbed by this revelation. But given the
He's
recent
like,
context,
oh shit.
I kind of have a new theory about what's going on here. That Jax losing his tail is symbolic of just his refusal to look back. He wants to live in the moment, torturing the others, refusing to more acknowledge the past, even as he is haunted by it. Hence, he's begun to start losing sight of himself, as he tries to default to this jerk trickster archetype, hence him losing his tail. As if we think that abstraction is a form of self-manifestation, of a mental break so great that people lose sight of themselves, then we can take this idea of characters changing their physical form one step further. Kinger in this episode was able to affect the world by creating these health butterflies. Pomni, just through sheer rule of cool, was able to do
I might have to
impossible
rewatch
shots,
these episodes.
Used force to blast Jax's bullet right back at him. This could be a sign that characters do affect the world around them. They just don't realize it. Then it wouldn't be too much of a stretch for Jax, who wants so badly to deny parts of himself that he ends up losing a piece in the process, hence the missing tail, which mysteriously returns this episode.
Oh wow!
This has to do with him opening up to Pomni.
Wow! I missed that, guys. I literally missed that shit. I literally missed that shit when I watched it. I mean, granted, I was doing something else while I was watching it, but I missed that shit. He had his tail right here too. Did he always have a tail? Oh gosh, damn it! I gotta go back and watch
Pulled
this.
right back at him. This could be a sign that characters do affect the world around them. They just don't realize it. It wouldn't be too much.
And again, I wasn't
Jax.
always looking at
He
this
wants
character's
so bad
ass
to
cheeks
deny
either,
parts of
so.
himself that he ends up losing a piece in the process. Hence the missing tail, which mysteriously returns. In
Jax
this
is a broken
episode.
boy, yeah,
I
bro.
wonder if this has to do with him opening up to Pomni initially.
Yeah,
So
bunnies are
once
cute.
Happened, he might lose it in the next. Now, when everyone meets up again, Pomni and Ragatha are that like, oh yeah, we're gonna need to talk after this. Ragatha just wants to apologize for how she was acting, and Pomni just is like, I need to talk about Jax. Meanwhile, the bunny boy is hanging in the back, refusing to interact with the others, as he is ashamed, and he's also having a panic attack as he rushes into the bathroom.
God, it looks stupid.
I did
That's
think he
'cause
was
he-
distracting right
yeah.
here, but the deep irony really hits. Whenever all his talk of being the funny one, he just looks in the mirror and says he looks ridiculous, because he doesn't believe this shit.
Yeah, he's not the funny one. He's the sad one.
But he needs to so badly as he thinks that's the only way to stay sane in this world, when clearly it isn't
Peak character, bro. He's gonna have a peak character development, bro. I already know. I'm already knowing.
working. He may try to deny it, but Jax is hurting, and Pomni sees it. And this isn't an excuse for any of his behavior and the mental harm he's caused everyone else, and I cannot believe that this actually needs to be said.
But hey,
So many great moments.
shout out to Pomni though, because she figured it out before everybody. She figured it out before everybody, and she knows now.
In this episode, but after a point, I would just be listing them all off and saying, oh, that was so cool. Oh, naturally, if I didn't bring it up, just assume I loved it, especially the duet and Kinger being a badass. Also, Jack shot Pomni. I feel like that very much plays into how he acts and performs those around him. Enough about that. It's probably gonna be its own video.
So wait, he betrayed her first. He betrayed her first. And I guess he was like, yeah, you can get your get back. Which then again, that still shows that he cares as a character, bro.
The thing that really puts this whole episode above and beyond for me is the writing. We've seen these characters come such a long way from episode 1.
This is a dub episode, bro. It really was.
In the digital circus. But here we are, 6 episodes later, and we see so much of them. We see them healing, finding friends, sharing the burden of being trapped here, with it only being those who are pushing others away that are now suffering. Jax is one bad day away from having a full-blown abstraction. Kane may just be a computer program, but he is trapped in here just like everyone else. Jax and Kane both suffer because they are unable to connect with the others, and that is driving them to madness. There's always so much going on with the show, but it never feels like too much. It is perfectly paced with jokes, quiet moments, and everything in between. I may have been slow to get on the hype train of the
Hell yeah.
show, but let it be known that I will sing the fuck out of its praises. Also, I need to
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was there from episode 1. I was watching Glitch's old shit from when he was making the robot animations. Yeah, I am that old. This is probably not that old at all.